So if you have not heard the good word, Don't Toy Me Miss Nagatoro has aired, and I'm sure many thoughts are running through the heads of anime only. And since Manga Dex is down right now, I am also an anime only, and so I want to discuss a little bit about what we saw in the first episode. I think anyone that watched the episode knows that Nagatoro's behavior was not just toying with him, and it went pretty gruesome at times. I mean, she was kind of railing into him really hard. Don't take that in any weird context, okay? I've seen some shit around. But I want to talk about why Nagatoro's behavior goes beyond that and why she does it, more importantly. Because typically in these teasing anime, there's usually a reason for why they're doing it. For example, in Uzaki, she kind of just wants to break out his introverted nature. But firstly, let's actually just recap quickly how she treats Senpai in the first episode of the anime.
Senpai ですね.
So I think it really goes without saying that Nagatoro treats Senpai in a less than favorable way. She meticulously breaks him down, bringing him to the point of tears, not just one day, but 2 in a row. And I think on the first day that the behavior quickly goes from just teasing his works, which in this case is a shitty self-insert fic, to pretty much just leaving him a wreck as she leaves him with a meek apology on her way out. Needless to say, coupled with the later scene, Senpai's treatment is pretty awful from Nagatoro. Don't get me wrong, I won't defend Nagatoro's behavior in the next segment because it really is shitty, but I do think we should discuss the why of her actions because I don't think it's merely teasing just to fuck with him, you know? So the purpose of this behavior, judging by everything I can see and what she initially critiques him for, is seemingly to build his confidence. She asks him a very direct question towards the end of the episode, and that question is, don't you ever get angry, Senpai?
先輩って怒らないんですか?
This question is one of genuine confusion, as I'm sure a lot of people looking at the episode were kind of wondering the same thing. Like, why won't he retaliate against Nagatoro despite her cruel behavior? And I think the reason, as shown in his flashbacks, is how he learned to just kind of keep his head down and take it. Which, given Nagatoro's behavior, she's kind of the ultimate test of the strategy, because how long can you really keep your head down and just keep taking it from Nagatoro? She's pretty relentless. So when Nagatoro is actually first tested to try to recreate the scene from his self-insert fiction, it's really a test of how much confidence does he have, and he fails the test. He made a character who's presumably meant to be a reflection of himself, but yet he doesn't live up to the standards which he kind of made for this character. Which is what Nagatoro directly realizes when she begins her first onslaught of, bullying, for lack of a better word. The scene can kind of be rough, and especially for those who have been bullied, this can be kind of hitting a little bit too close to home for some folks. However, I am grateful that they didn't pull the punches from how the manga portrays the scene, as it's equally as bad. Nagatoro, I get the impression that she feels bad for him, and though her methods border on sadistic, it's pretty easily clear to see that she kind of wants to push him to develop the ability to stand up for himself. To not just take the hits and let people dig you down, because she was the one of her only friends who didn't initially make fun of his works. They were sort of just, shitting on his fanfiction, and she sort of observes him as this happens and then decides to sit down with him. And while inevitably she does end up demolishing verbally, I think even harder than her friends did, I think you can sort of see that she's trying to tough love her way into making him be more confident and more assured of himself. Now, some may think this is a stretch, and honestly, I can see why you can maybe think that given her methods being so cruel, especially if you dealt with bullying as intense as hers for a prolonged time. I don't think confidence is typically the end result. However, I think if you pull back your own biases, you can sort of see that the show is leading to the idea that Nagatoro does treat him very poorly in the first 2 encounters, but I think this serves more than just the purpose of just toying with him. The show is sort of leading me to believe that Nagatoro is doing this kind of for his own benefit. I just kind of want people to keep that in mind when they're watching the show, as I think honestly you can get some wrong impressions if you don't really look at it that way. And I think honestly that you kind of have to trudge through like the first few episodes and kind of see where it leads itself to really get an idea of why she's doing this to Senpai and why she's so relentless on him. Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to keep an eye on the next episode. I'm only less than 10 chapters into the manga, so I'm not too far honestly ahead of everyone else right now. But yeah, I think everyone with concerns on the first episode, like I said, should give it a shot till about episode 3 or 4 and see how you like it. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you want more, and have a good one. Peace out.
Ready? First I'll make a quick trick brick stack. Then I'll make a quick trick block stack. You can make a quick trick chick stack. You can make a quick trick clock stack. And here's a new trick, Mr. Knox. Socks on chicks and chicks on fox. Fox on clocks and bricks on blocks. Bricks and blocks on knocks on box. Now we come to ticks and talks, sir. Try to say this, Mr. Knox, sir.